the process until there is another process that opens the same file for writing. Suppose a process is writing the particular FIFO and other process opens it for reading, then kernel will block the other process for which will prevent the other process for reading. Similarly, whenever a process opens a FIFO file for write, the kernel will block the process until another process opens the same file for reading. If a file wants to write, then other file must be there to read. So this is used for the synchronization of the processes in inter-process communication. If a particular process tries to write something to a FIFO file that is full, suppose if the FIFO file is full and still a process is trying to write, then that process will be blocked until another process has read the data from the FIFO to make space for the process. Suppose a particular process is writing to a FIFO and FIFO file has filled with the data, then the particular process will be blocked until another process comes to read the data from the FIFO file. If the other process comes, read the data, make this space, then the first process can resume writing. Similarly, if a process attempts to read data from an empty FIFO, then if a process is reading the data from an empty FIFO, nothing is there in the FIFO, then that process will also be blocked until another process writes data to the FIFO. Okay, a process cannot read an empty FIFO. So if the FIFO is empty, that any process wants to read the data, that process will be blocked until another process comes and write the data into the FIFO file. From any of the above condition, if the process doesn't want to get blocked, then we should specify O non-block in the open call to the FIFO. When we call open API for the FIFO file, then that time only we can raise a flag O underscore non-block, means that process should not be blocked. And if a process writes to a FIFO file that has no other process attached to it for read, the kernel will send SIG pipe signal to the process to notify that it is an illegal operation. If a process writes to a FIFO file that has no other process attached to it for it, it's both should be there. If a process is writing the data to a FIFO, then another process must be there to read. Otherwise, if only writing process is there, reading process is not there, then kernel will send a SIG pipe signal to a process which notifies that it is an illegal operation. Another method of creating FIFO file for inter-process communication is to use pipe system call. We can call a pipe integer FDS. So this API, it will return two file descriptor. One is file descriptor 0, another is file descriptor 1. So file descriptor 0 is used for reading the data from the FIFO, and file descriptor 1 is used to write the data into the FIFO. So let us see one example. All these some header files are there. Then main integer argument C and argument V, and if argument C is not equal to 2 and not equal to 3, like when you are here we are passing the FIFO file using the command line. So argument total minimum 3 arguments should be there. If argument 2 C is not equal to 2 or and not equal to 3, then you say argument 0. Argument 0 is nothing but the program name, and file argument returns 0. It must be there. Int fd char buff 256. we are creating a FIFO file of a name argument v1, means through command line argument. What is the first argument after the program name we are passing? That is the name of the FIFO file. And FIFO means FIFO file it is. And read, write, execute access permission we are giving to user, and read, write, execute to the group, and read, write, execute to others. Now here a FIFO file has been created. Now if argument c equal to 2, then open argument 1 for read only and non-block. We are opening the FIFO file for read only, and it should not be blocked by any other process. And okay, we are reading. Now read, let us read character by character. Read fd. Fd is nothing but here whatever open file, open API will return. Read fd buff, size of buff equal to -1 and error number equal to e again, and sleep 1. While so here it is reading from the file descriptor